INEC is taking this issue of vote buying very seriously. I have just come from Ekiti. I was part of the supervising national commissioners in Ekiti, and these things do occur. In another 3 weeks, we're having another conference on electoral offences, because you see, vote buying is all part of electoral offences, and we're looking at ways in which we can curb it. And the politicians keep trying their best in Ekiti. You could see that they had ingenious ways of trying to sort themselves out, but these are things that we're going to go back to the drawing board and look at it again with the security. You know, we have a security committee that we meet every quarter, but we'll come back and review it again and see how we can work towards stopping it to the best of our ability.
I am very confident that many of the issues which probably have been to be monitored more closely will be taken into consideration. I'm sure that there is always room for improvement, and one of the reasons why we are here, as the Honorable Commissioner said, is to identify
who is a legal practitioner. I have to bring back the professional in politics part.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
That particular issue that they raised is a very serious one. And then having been in politics yourself, one wonders, is this something you think that politicians are taking seriously to address, let alone before we even move on to the commission? Because the commission themselves have given a series of responses, which we'll come to in a moment. But when you now look at the magnitude of this vote buying, are you in any way surprised by it?
I couldn't be surprised. And it will be even more escalated, because there's a positive correlation between poverty and depraved conduct. Poverty, not in the relative sense, that you have 10 million naira and you have a problem of 13 million. Then you say, I am so poor, I cannot finish the project. Abject poverty, the one that walks on 4 legs, when God created you to have 2 legs, you will see your shoes going down, the sole is finished, and you can do nothing about it. You are having breakfast, well, call it guguru and ekpa, or bread and beans, given to you by somebody. Where is dinner or lunch going to come from is all not known. That is a glimpse of the kind of poverty that has gripped many Nigerians.
But
it breeds hopelessness. So such people are looking at anything like somebody who is drowning.
But that's not an
even
excuse.
Holding a straw.
That's not
I'm not making excuses. We're analyzing what will happen, not whether it is right or wrong. I'm not making a value judgment. The issue is that vote buying will escalate because the poverty in the land is escalating.
So now
and those people going for public offices are looking at what they have as the lucre of office, so they can kill, maim, impoverish in order to leverage themselves.
APC in Ekiti,
yes,
has alluded to that they couldn't just sit back and watch. That 2 days before the elections, the PDP induced voters, and they had to do something about it. At the end of it all, it was, you spent about 4,000 naira, I spent a little more to gain back the vote that I feel that will be in my own interest. What does this portend for our democratic system and our advancement in our political
The
stance?
umpire should be doing something by now, and unfortunately there is a deafening silence. I don't know what they have in their works. If you admit that you gave bribe, and it is known that bribing or attempt to do so is a crime, and the person who purportedly received from you flatly denied receiving from you, something has been established. The onus is on you who said you gave to prove that the other guy received. But for now, we hold you responsible for giving. So if APC accepted by innuendo or whatever way it did, that they were trying to outsmart the others because they were also in it, and the others have not come up to own up, that they actually did anything untoward, even if it was being speculated that it could have happened. You hold on the one that has admitted. You understand what I mean?
Let's see if we could go backtrack a bit, because, I mean, give us your experience while you were, when you actively sought political office, because we've heard people say they've criticized the delegate system. Some of them say because of how monetized it is.
Yes.
But we haven't, as much as we have seen lately, see politicians on national TV say, well, for short of saying, we did it. At the time you were vying, was it this prominent where people were buying votes?
You just said that I claim to be a professional in politics. That was what I did in my days, and I claimed it advisedly. Because my refrain then was, if you vote for me, because I saw the political atmosphere then, I said, if you voted for me, it will be for your own benefit. Because I won't die of hunger, by God's grace. The multiplier that you will get will be good governance. And I used a kind of aphorism to send it home. If I come to sweep your bedroom, and you say, please don't sweep, it is already clean, and I insist on doing so, then that means I must have kept something in that room I wanted to take, or I want to put something that will incriminate you. What does that mean? What I meant was that if I offered myself to serve you, and you willingly, on your own accord, say, we are sorry, your kind cannot serve us now. It's not here your time. I will go. And that is what I did. I saw a lot of loopholes under the Electoral Act then that I should have gone to court one way or the other, but I knew the end. So I didn't even bother going to any court. And I ran for governorship. And if you know the constituency that you have to spend money, you must spend money, not necessarily giving bribes and all that, but campaigns cost money. The kind of campaigns we even ran then, because of the message, the poor people bought the message, but they were not powerful enough, because I wasn't interested in getting those who will install me and come and breathe down my neck. I wanted to be as independent. Okay, so the campaign we ran, even they were giving pure water to people who were in my team. So it was not the way things, I mean, it's not the way things are going now that we did it. But they were still buying votes then. And there were a lot of other chicaneries, like buying ice cream and giving people, you take the ice cream, you sleep. The party agents of other parties will be happy to, because it will...
How do you mean sleep?
During the election, or the purported elections.
They give you the ice cream.
The agents of other political parties will be giving, somebody will be purporting to be, selling ice cream, bring ice cream, but it's a member of a particular political party, and those ice creams were drugged.
Wow.
So you get the ice cream free, and you sleep. So they will do all this ballot stuffing and all that. That's why we insist on electronic process that are highly depersonalized. These things are doable, and they can be done even in 2019. Only that those drivers are highly visceral and not cerebral.
You know, the Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose, says that he will not stop at anything to get his mandate back because he believes that he was robbed. As a matter of fact, they call it daylight robbery. If this vote buying situation gets to court, will it be tenable before the presiding judge or whoever, or the tribunals in this case? Will it be tenable to say that because there has been a perpetration by the PDP and the APC of electoral irregularities, this election will be null and void?
There will be an issue of evidence, because the judiciary is on the bloodstream of evidence. If you assert, you must prove. Let me tell you, the people who are saying that they had to bribe if that may not have been in the eye of the election, even if they were members of the APC. When the comes to become, as K. Umbadi will say, APC will say that was just a pedestrian member. It is not the position of APC. And there is no document where they had stated it. I don't think, that it was properly signed by the right authority. So there will be issue of evidence. You know, a lot of things happen at election venues, but the problem is always the proof, except the ones that have been committed into, figures and all that. And that's why the impunity continues to escalate. But more importantly is the factor of individuals. We must find a system where our people get more evolved. Beyond, and one of them is, if you say that sharing money has become the norm, collect the money and vote your conscience. That man who has given you that money is a thief. He stole it. Because I can tell you, nobody who worked for his money and gone into an election and goes into an election will be spending money recklessly.
But Mr. Nnaji, this one I'm saying is not that easy, asking them to collect the money and vote their conscience, because the secrecy of the ballot in this case was compromised. They, at the point, said, look, what happened was, when you vote, they make it in a way that you show whoever it is that is on your back or on your case, on your shoulder, who or how you have thumbprinted, after which they then give you the money.
And who says that, because if the man came with the corruption of bribery, and who says that if you lie to him, that you will also be penalized? Lie to him that you voted for them and collect the money. Or don't say anything, let them beat you up, and then you shout. So, in fact, it's not a very simple thing, because the individuals involved, I'm talking about the voters now, because it takes the two to tango. If there is no demand, there will be no supply. And where there is supply and there's no demand, if the two don't come together, nothing happens. So the point I'm saying and making now is that the voters, because they are usually at the receiving end. If you vote Mr. A,